I'm very disappointed that my daughter, like so many, has no understanding of God's honor, God's truths.
One day maybe we'll sit down together and you can come interview me with her.
They see Israel has been attacked and these animals want to wipe out Jews, Christians.
I'm always thinking about my daughter. Whenever I'm talking about anything else, I'm always thinking about my daughter.
Israel's been attacked, and the Jewish people, who have suffered hardship for centuries.
We have no better friend than Jon Voight. That's authoritative. Thank you.
Israel, the Israeli army, must protect thy soil, thy people. This is war.
Jon Voight criticizes daughter. Jon Voight, a well-known Hollywood actor, has publicly criticized his daughter Angelina Jolie for her stance on the Israel-Hamas conflict. The actor's criticism comes in response to a recent Instagram post made by Jolie, in which she expressed her support for Palestinians during the ongoing Gaza conflict. In her Instagram post, Angelina Jolie shared a powerful image depicting the aftermath of an Israeli strike on the Jabalia refugee camp, highlighting the devastating impact on the Palestinian population. She lamented the loss of life, particularly the high number of innocent children caught in the crossfire. Jolie, who previously served as a special envoy for the UN High Commission for Refugees, accused Israel of deliberately targeting civilians, including women and children, and of depriving them of basic necessities such as food, medicine, and humanitarian aid. Jon Voight's response to his daughter's Instagram post was one of strong disapproval. In a video he shared on social media, Voight expressed his disappointment in Angelina Jolie's stance, emphasizing that he believed she lacked an understanding of certain aspects of the complex situation. Voight's criticism also extended to his daughter's characterization of Israel's actions in the conflict. The public exchange between the father and daughter highlights the deep divisions and passionate emotions that the Israel-Hamas conflict continues to evoke around the world. It underscores how even within families and among celebrities, there can be significant differences in perspective when it comes to highly sensitive and contentious global issues like this one. This public disagreement between Jon Voight and Angelina Jolie showcases the complexity and sensitivity of the Israel-Hamas conflict, where differing opinions and emotional responses are common. It also highlights the broader debates and discussions that surround the Israeli-Palestinian conflict on a global scale.
I'm very disappointed that my daughter, like so many, has no understanding of God's honor, God's truths.
It's like when you have your father tell you that they're proud of you or that they love you, and you're playing together.
Christmas is family, so I have lots of family. I'm hoping to see my grandchildren, hoping to see my grandnieces and nephews.
Angelina Jolie's views on Israel's actions. Angelina's views on Israel's actions during the Israel-Hamas conflict have sparked a significant public discussion. As a former UN Special Envoy, she has taken a pro-Palestinian stance, expressing deep concern about the civilian casualties resulting from the conflict. Jolie accuses Israel of deliberately targeting innocent civilians, a claim that has raised questions about potential violations of international law. In her statements, Jolie also highlights the dire humanitarian crisis in Gaza, emphasizing that the conflict has left the Palestinian population without access to essential resources like food, medicine, and humanitarian aid. Her perspective aligns with those who argue that the situation in Gaza has reached a critical point, with innocent civilians, including children, suffering the most. In response to his daughter's views, Jon Voight, a well-known Hollywood actor, expressed disappointment. Voight's criticism is rooted in his belief that Jolie lacks a comprehensive understanding of certain aspects of the Israel-Hamas conflict. He underscores the complexity of the situation and the challenges Israel faces in protecting its citizens from Hamas attacks. This public exchange between a father and daughter illustrates the deeply polarized opinions surrounding the Israel-Hamas conflict. The differing viewpoints of Angelina and Jon reflect the broader international debate on the conflict's causes, consequences, and the actions of both sides. It serves as a reminder of how complex and emotionally charged the situation in the Middle East remains, with individuals from various backgrounds passionately advocating for their perspectives.
One day maybe we'll sit down together and you can come interview me with her.
They see Israel has been attacked, and these animals want to wipe out Jews, Christians.
I'm always thinking about my daughter. Whenever I'm talking about anything else, I'm always thinking about my daughter.
Voight's defense of Israel. In the midst of the Israel-Hamas conflict, Hollywood actor Jon Voight has emerged as a vocal advocate for Israel, passionately defending its actions and condemning Hamas for its role in the ongoing hostilities. Voight's stance stems from a supposed belief that Israel's primary objective is to protect its land from the persistent threats posed by Hamas, an organization with a long-stated aim of destroying the Jewish state. He contends that Israel's actions are driven by the need to safeguard its historical and sacred homeland, known as the Holy Land. In this view, Israel's actions are not an act of aggression, but rather a matter of self-defense against a group committed to its destruction. A core element of Voight's criticism centers on Hamas, the militant organization in control of the Gaza Strip. He unequivocally condemns Hamas for its use of inhumane tactics, such as firing rockets indiscriminately at civilian populations, including women and children. These actions have resulted in civilian casualties and caused immense suffering for the Palestinian population, especially those living in Gaza. Voight's critique underscores the moral dilemma of using human shields and intentionally targeting non-combatants in the conflict, actions that have drawn international condemnation. Voight also expresses deep concern about the substantial financial resources provided to Hamas, which were intended to support the Palestinian people. He argues that instead of improving the lives of ordinary Palestinians, Hamas has diverted these resources to build weapons, fund its militant activities, and perpetuate the cycle of violence. It's important to remember that these are just claims, and none of this is actually backed by evidence. Voight emphasizes the compassion and care that he believes the people of Israel extend to others, regardless of their background. He highlights the collective desire for peace and the importance of justice prevailing in the region. In his view, Israel is not an aggressor, but a nation that values and cherishes life, striving to ensure the safety and security of its people while still recognizing the humanity of others. Jon Voight's vocal defense of Israel and his condemnation of Hamas reflect the broader international debate on the Israel-Hamas conflict. The ongoing hostilities have sparked passionate responses from various individuals, with differing opinions about the root causes, consequences, and potential resolutions to the crisis. Ultimately, Voight's perspective underscores the complex and emotionally charged nature of the Middle East conflict, where deeply held beliefs and strongly opposing views continue to shape the discourse on this multifaceted issue.
We must protect this nation and bring back safety. We're all feeling very unsafe. We're all angry.
Get so happy when you know your parent loves you so much. Now I'm gonna cry.
Well, you know, she's a pretty smart gal, Angie, and we've gotten on the right track together.
The complex father-daughter relationship. The relationship between Jon Voight and Angelina Jolie has been marked by complexities and fluctuations over the years. Despite being family, their journey has seen estrangement, public disputes, and eventual reconciliation, shaping a unique dynamic between the father and daughter. One of the significant points in their relationship was their estrangement, which persisted for a substantial period. Their divide was not only familial, but also publicly acknowledged. During this estrangement, Jon Voight made comments about Angelina Jolie's mental health and her personal life, particularly her divorce from actor Billy Bob Thornton. These comments added to the strain in their relationship, and it was evident that their interactions were fraught with tension. However, in 2010, a significant turning point occurred as the father and daughter reconciled. It was a pivotal moment that mended their fractured relationship, offering them a chance to rebuild the bond they once shared. The reconciliation was not only important for their personal connection, but also for their respective public images. The process of reconciliation involved reaching out to one another, addressing past issues, and finding common ground. Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie's then-partner and later husband, played a role in facilitating the truce between the two, allowing Voight to reconnect with his daughter and her children. The reconciliation brought them back together as a family, with Voight having the opportunity to spend time with his grandchildren and re-establish a connection with Angelina. This was a poignant moment for both, as it allowed them to move beyond the disputes and estrangement of the past. Their complex relationship journey serves as a reminder of the intricate dynamics that can exist within families, especially in high-profile settings. While public figures, Jon and Angelina's personal experiences, disputes, and eventual reconciliation mirror the challenges and triumphs that many families go through. It demonstrates that even in the public eye, family bonds can be rekindled and strengthened with time, effort, and open communication. In summary, Jon Voight and Angelina Jolie's relationship has had its share of ups and downs, with estrangement and public disputes temporarily overshadowing their familial connection. However, their eventual reconciliation in 2010 allowed them to mend their relationship, emphasizing the importance of family bonds and the potential for healing and growth within family relationships.
Israel's been attacked, and the Jewish people, who have suffered hardship for centuries.
We have no better friend than Jon Voight. That's authoritative. Thank you.
Israel, the Israeli army, must protect thy soil, thy people. This is war.
International reactions to the Israel-Hamas conflict and calls for ceasefire. In response to the international reactions to the Israel-Hamas conflict, there have been calls for a ceasefire from various quarters, including Pope Francis. The Pope has urged for humanitarian aid to be immediately sent to the people in Gaza and an end to the hostilities, expressing deep concern about the situation and the loss of life from Israel's attacks. However, it's important to note that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has quite cruelly rejected calls for a ceasefire, underscoring the ongoing intensity of the conflict. This refusal reflects the complexities and challenges in achieving a peaceful resolution to the conflict, as the situation in Palestine continues to worsen. The international community's efforts to broker a ceasefire and bring an end to the violence remain a significant part of the ongoing diplomatic efforts in the region. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.